Hello and welcome to City Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Islamophobia. What is Islamophobia? Is it on the rise? And what can we as individuals do to ensure that we prevent Islamophobia? I'm joined here today with Mr. Dinar Hossain, who's had extensive experience for 13 years as a consultant for the Children and People's Services. He's also had many years' experience in local government and various voluntary sectors. Thank you, Mr. Hossain. Thank you for being here. We're very pleased to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
As you know, we've had lots of media at the moment and social media discussing all the things that have been happening recently with regards to Islamophobia and terrorism, etc. Do you have any opinions on what you've been reading and your thoughts on this?
Well, I think what we have seen recently about the Islamophobia is that the significant rise in Islamophobia, but it's nothing new. The concept of Islamophobia has actually been existing since 9/11, and unfortunately I happened to be there when the tragic incident took place and so on. I was in Texas as part of the Youth Justice Board to look at the model of intensive supervision and surveillance program for persistent young offenders that was taking place in Texas, and I duplicated the model in UK. And we experienced that there. We have seen the significant ignorant people, basically. I mean, if you look at Islamophobia and the issue about hate crime, actually they are not very much different from each other. It is a hate crime. Hate crime is very much associated with the wider communities, which include the Jewish communities and different faith groups or non-faith groups, where Islamophobia is very much particularly focused on one particular faith groups. What we have seen, of course there has been a significant rise, but we have seen talk in the newspaper. Newspaper didn't help us, lots of right-wing media didn't help us. It actually ignited some of the hate the people have. And based on myths and stereotyping views, they're not factual evidence in relation to rising Islamophobia, because those people we have seen recently attacked in Paris, a lot of innocent people lost their lives, day-to-day life, a lot of people who, like you and me, going to work, they got kids, they got their families and so on. But unfortunately, they're having a good time after their work on Friday. That's what we all do. Most of us does in a Western society. This is how we developed ourselves, this is how we live ourselves. And unfortunately, that life has been distracted. So one way I have sympathy not for rising Islamophobia, but I have a sympathy that the bunch of criminals decided to commit a criminal act, which resulted, of course, wider implementation in relation to Muslim communities. And people those are ignorant and those who are lacking of understanding the key concept of Islam is about. They're the one who actually interpreting in such a way and correlating that particular incident with the religion of Islam. And actually, Islam is about peace, is about solidarity, is about equality, is about making sure that we look after each other, regardless of what religion or not religion they belong to. That is the teaching that we have in Islam. So I think there is a significant rise, and I fear and it's continued to rise because of the way media playing role, and unfortunately not all politicians, thank God for that, but we have some politicians who has got vicious extreme right-wing opinions, and that doesn't help. That also ignite the concept of Islamophobia among those people who kind of embedded hate crime within their mind, if you like, and that's the way they're expressing. And especially since the incident that happened in Paris, we have seen in Lebanon, we have seen in Mali and other different places throughout the world. And what we are seeing now, people are often talking about and being ignorant, and we have seen significant rise in Islamophobia and such incidents.
Yes, it does certainly seem to be the case that there have been few attacks here and there in various places in London as well. I think, sadly, the people who tend to get targeted are the ones who outwardly look Muslim. So it might be actually the women mainly if they've got a headscarf on. Which for me certainly I find very, very concerning. And I think it was the Islamophobia only recently got recognised as an actual crime. I didn't realise this at first, but it's actually under the Racial and Religious Hatred Act of 2006.
Yes, it's been embedded actually in Equalities Act 2010, where Islamophobia prior to that wasn't part of seen as a crime. Now it has been embedded after the new act that came came
I see.
Equalities Act 2010, and that's where it's been embedded.
Oh,
So it is now a crime. It is
it's
seen
now
as
a
a crime,
crime, yeah.
yes. But you're going back to your point, how do we tackle these issues? And actually, it is a responsibility on Muslim communities to let people aware about what Islam is about, what Muslim religion is about. Those are ignorant people. There will always be ignorant people, regardless of Muslim or non-Muslim, or Bengalis or non-Bengalis, English or non-English.
Yeah.
In every society or wherever you go, you will find a cohort of ignorant people with their views and very, very negative attitude, and they're preserving this and having a go at people at the right time when they find that kind of opportunity. Unfortunately, the tragic incident in Paris brought Islamophobic incident is on the rise and so on. And you are absolutely right to say lots of vulnerable, if you want to classify that way, people walking on the street, a lot of vulnerable young women, and not necessarily vulnerable young women who wear hijab. That's also a myths and misunderstanding we have. People who wear hijab, I mean, I have spoken to a lot of young women who wear hijabs. They wear hijab because of their own will. No one is forcing on them. And actually, they believe it is part of their religious belief. That's what they're supposed to do. So if someone is attacking because of their religious belief, then exactly this is what Islamophobia is about. That is what the hate crime is about. And thank God it is, and thanks to the government and administration, that it is now seen as a crime. So we have a responsibility as a collective way, a cohesive way. What we need to do, as people always say, united we stand, divided we fall. So we've got to be united on this. And what we need to let people know throughout the whole country, and even including globalization issues, that look, Islam is not about that. Let them aware what Islam is about. We need to have scholars to talk to them what Islam is about. I'm not a scholar, I'm not very good at that, to teach anyone about Islam. But at the same time, what we need to do is to show some tragic incident that recently took place. It's got nothing to do with Islam religion. It's got nothing to do with Muslim religion, because what you saw, the bunch of criminals decided to act in a very stupid and in a very criminal way, and these are criminal acts. How people correlate this incident with religion is because some of them happen to be Muslim. If that's the reason, the rise of Islamophobia, then surely we got a responsibility to challenge that and tell them that this is not what surely Islam is about. Islam is about peace, it's about solidarity, it's about championing the right of people, regardless of what religion and what background they're from.
I think the overall thing is that most people, their values are that, we respect everyone regardless of faith, religion, or faith, religion, or race, or even ethnicity. And I think, from my understanding, we all need to be together and really be aware that this isn't the type of country we want. I mean, Great Britain is great because of its cosmopolitan nature, and I think the more people are aware that we just cannot really judge someone on their religious beliefs.
You are absolutely right, and I go along in line with the Prime Minister, what recently said about the British values. He talked about the solidarity, he talked about the democracy, he talks about equalities. There is nothing he said in British values that any Muslim I see can disagree with that. So what we need to do is to embrace the British values, demonstrate ourselves that we are willing to embrace the British values, but at the same time, as I said, you have a significant cohort of ignorant people that you will find, and I think the government also need to be a bit more stronger in relation to dealing with these issues. And I'm sure government is talking about cutting police services in terms of their budgets. How does it help tackling hate crime? How does it help when you go rise in Islamophobia incident and so on? So if you are cutting one way, you are cutting police budget. Another way, you are talking about tackling all sorts of hate crime and Islamophobia and so on. So government needs to be looking at all of that. We need to have a balanced approach. But at the same time, I will request all the journalists, those who are working, to play a very responsible role actually in this time, the time that we are going through, because a lot of innocent Muslim people are being attacked. In the TV station, we have seen that. It's in the social media, it's in the Twitter. They've been attacked in the TV station, they've been attacked in the TV while they were traveling from home to work and so on. And very, very young people. So what we got to understand is to expose this, show this to the government, and also raise this awareness. And one of the things I think lacking within our communities is how we report this. And that is what a lot of people are not fully aware of. Well, it's a simple thing. If it is a hate crime, if it is Islamophobia, it's a crime. Dial 999. Call the police. Ask for help. Do not wait for that. If you see someone is getting abused because of their religion, regardless of what religion it is, whether it's Islam or Jewish or Christianity or whatever it is, if you see someone is being attacked because of their belief and because of their faith, well, it is a crime. We know that it is a crime. And we also know, as an active citizen, what we're supposed to be doing. What we're supposed to be doing is call 999, call the police and seek for assistance. And I'm hoping the police, and they have, police will respond as soon as possible, and they will get to the culprit. And hopefully, if police force and the government could send some good example of punishing those embracing hate crime, and then I feel that yes, we together, we as a community, the white, non-white, or Muslim or non-Muslim, together we can combat such form of crime.
Thank you, Dinar. That was very interesting. We've covered many areas that I think will need probably deeper understanding, but certainly I think we're on the same lines here, where we ultimately want peace, love and compassion, unity, and I think this is the message that we want to give out there, and hopefully everyone will share this, whether they're Muslim or not. That we want to respect people and tolerate, and understand.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get to the fact that this is our country. We have a duty, same duty as anyone else, to make sure that we play our role as an active citizen. We demonstrate ourselves that we are willing to integrate and embrace the core British values. At the same time, I want government to take a proactive role in tackling this kind of issues. I want our communities to be fully aware of the reporting process and the protocol, how they do that. I want administration to come forward and actually acknowledging that this is happening. I haven't seen very many local authorities, I haven't seen very many institutions actually coming forward and talking about it. But if you look at Jeremy Corbyn, for example, the Labour Party leader, who recently said in his statement, he actually said to all his MPs and all his activists, go to the local mosque, visit the local mosque and show solidarity. And I think this is a very good message coming from a big opposition leader. And I think we should embrace that. I think this is the message, it's a very positive message I actually heard from one of the British politicians who is openly saying to his MPs, to his political party activist members, go and visit the mosque, understand, learn about religion, learn about what Islam is about, show your solidarity. Yes, a lot of Muslim people are showing, including me, including you, everyone else, showing solidarity to France people, what happened in Paris and so on. But at the same time, we want to see the same thing, that the Muslim people are getting attacked. Islamophobia is on rise, as you said, it's on increase. I want to see what kind of steps the government is taking to tackle this. I've seen some of the views from different politicians, which I mentioned, Jeremy Corbyn, what he clearly instructed to his MPs and to his activists, go to the mosque and show solidarity to Muslim people. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that from institutions, not only from politicians, but I also want to see a united front. It is not only about Muslim issues, even though you say Islamophobia, but it's not about Islam issues. It's about issues that together, we, Muslim, non-Muslim, as an active citizen, we have a problem in this country. How do we tackle such problem in partnership with institution, government, politicians, local authorities, voluntary sectors, faith-based organization, non-faith-based organization. This is how we've got to do it. It has to be a cohesive approach. It's a joint-up approach. What we cannot do, and being a Muslim by ourselves, doing patrolling and so on. I heard some of the stories like that going around and trying to protect their own communities. No, we have a duty to abide by the rules and the law in this country. We have a policing system. We have a emergency calling system. We can seek assistance as and when we needed it, and that's what we should be following, rather than what we should be doing, patrolling like English Defence League has been doing it. Then there will be another league coming from different religion, different groups. They are going to be different. Well, we can't have that. It's a systematic country. It's a democratic country. We have institutions. We are law-abiding citizens. We've got to follow exactly what the law says.
Thank you. I think that sounds a brilliant point to end on.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for that. So hopefully viewers out there, you've heard what Dinar has said and advised, and as you know, Islamophobia is now a crime. So if you do feel that you see people having trouble and you yourself are having trouble, then obviously call 999, and let's hope that we can all work together to stamp down on this.